Monkey.
Now, in the light of Daniel Dubois being dropped 3 times by Kevin Lorena, it begs the question, why are a lot of UK fighters, British fighters, seem so chinny and, just seem to lack punch resistance? I mean, a lot of people say that Anthony Joshua has got a glass jaw. Now, I wouldn't go as far as saying AJ has a glass jaw, but AJ definitely doesn't have a great jaw. We obviously all know about Amir Khan. I mean, there's no point in me even mentioning Amir Khan and his chin. He never had a good chin. Dylan White seems to have no punch resistance. I mean, every time Tyson Fury hit Chisora seemed like he was off balance, seemed to have punch resistance issues himself there. I mean, Daniel Dubois, what? He got hurt by... Is it Kevin Lorena like a cruiserweight who moved up to heavyweight? So yeah, those are just a few examples of, British fighters over the years. Even Ricky Hatton, I don't think he particularly had a great chin. So, UK fighters often show very dodgy chins. Now, I'm going to explain why. Now, it's not because, you know, being from the UK means you're born with some bozo gene and that you don't have no chin. No, it's deeper than that. First of all, the examples I used, most of them were heavyweights, I think bar Ricky Hatton and Amir Khan. And, the heavyweight division, it really only does take one punch. Let's not forget that. These are men who are over 200 pounds, and if anyone in that division gets hit clean on the chin, you're going to feel it. But even beyond that, it really and truly comes down to styles. Now, I'll explain the British style and perhaps a, big problem with that style and why it perhaps needs to be eradicated, and they need to train, UK fighters to be more fluid, in the Team GB setup, because, there's a serious issue with this style and, transitioning into the pros. It might do decent in amateur boxing. I mean, UK fighters aren't tremendously good amateur boxers. Those goes more to Cubans and even Americans, but still, it might work to some good degree in the amateur setup, but definitely not on the pro setup. Now, with UK fighters, they are extremely upright and they just lack upper body movement and fluidity. It's like, I just can't even describe it. Their traps, their shoulders, their neck, it's like they have that very stiff motion and they're not fluid. The upper body just doesn't have the mobility and they just can't seem to roll with punches. Yeah, so it really comes down to having bad defense, because boxing is about getting hit. Sorry, getting hit. Wow, that was an epic fail. Boxing is about hitting and not getting hit. And when you have a style like Frank Bruno, where you're super duper upright and you barely move your upper body, it's going to be easier to hit you clean on the chin because you're not moving your head off the center line. I mean, compare British fighters to like American fighters. I'm trying to think of really good American fighters. If you're looking at a heavyweight, maybe someone like a Jared Anderson. If you're looking, in the lighter weight classes, obviously you've got heaps of examples like Roy Jones Jr., Floyd Mayweather, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Gervonta Tank Davis, Bernard Hopkins, Andre Ward. You need to have good defense and you need to move the upper body to be able to avoid shots and roll shots, because you're not going to be able to block every single shot with your guard. No, your guard will be split after a few punches. At the very elite level, your opponent will be able to break through your guards. They'll be able to set up punches that you don't see coming from very awkward angles, and they'll do very unorthodox things, to break through your guard. For example, in the Mayweather-Canelo fight, Mayweather threw a triple jab, and it wasn't really a jab, it was like 3 pouring jabs, and then he came through with the uppercut and he caught Canelo. Canelo was just standing there in La La Land. He should have been moving his feet laterally, trying to maneuver around the ring, but he was just standing there. Now, obviously, I know that Canelo isn't a UK fighter, he's not British, but it's just an example. At the elite level, your guard will be cracked eventually. So you've got to be able to roll with punches, and you got to have good lateral footwork, good movement, because you often see that American fighters focus more on defense and less on power punching. Now, I'm not saying you don't have big power punches that come through from America. You definitely do. Deontay Wilder, Tank Davis. But there is still a more bigger emphasis on skills. It's not just power, power, power. And that's why I say at the end of the day, skills pay the bills in boxing. Power is often overhyped in boxing. Power is one of many attributes that can act as an enabler for a fighter, and it may often even hinder a fighter in certain moments because they can be so gassed up in their power that they forget the basic skills that they need to have in terms of footwork, distance, timing, and all of that. So whenever I see guys like particularly Daniel Dubois and Frank Bruno, it's just you really do shake your head because you need to be more fluid than that in order to be successful at the elite level. I mean, Shane McWigan has a lot of work to do with Daniel Dubois. You know, they're definitely going to have to go back to the drawing board and make adjustments because at the top level, if Daniel Dubois is that stiff and that upright, he's going to come into serious problems. I mean, Dylan White could probably beat that version of Daniel Dubois that we saw against Kevin Lerena. You know, Anthony Joshua, I feel, would deal with him easily. You know, we already seen Joe Joyce deal with Daniel Dubois. I mean, I don't even want to imagine what Deontay Wilder would be able to do with, you know, that version of Daniel Dubois. Usyk would have a field day. Tyson Fury would have a field day. So this pattern of UK fighters, of British fighters being so stiff, being so upright, you know, it's essentially making them easier to hit, and with them being so easy to hit, it's going to take from their punch resistance. The more you get hit clean on the chin, the more chinny you become. So yeah, the reason UK fighters seem chinny is because of their lack of defense and their extreme stiffness in the upper body. You know, that's just my 2 cents. What do you guys think? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And before anyone says, oh, you're hating on UK fighters, you typical American, well, no, that's not true. Because I'm not American. I'm not from the UK, and I'm not from America. So keep guessing, mate. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Don't be a ninja watcher. If you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button. It encourages me to make more videos. All right, peace.